More kitchen cutlery coming at you, and this week is a pretty interesting knife here from TwoSun. This is a TS508-DM. I really wanted to like this thing, and there was just a couple of things that really just kind of irked me about it. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump in on this guy here. And yeah, as you can see, it certainly does have some interesting Damascus patterning kind of going on here. Really pretty. And it's got the mosaic pen and that G10, same basic handle style that they do have on a lot of the 900 series there. What ended up bothering me about this guy though is it's, for one, this one didn't come like with the absolute sharpest edge in the known universe on it. And that's perfectly fine. I mean, it's easy enough to kind of fix that after the fact for those of us who can actually deal with and maintain our knives. But this thing is a little thicker than I want behind the edge, which makes doing some kind of slicing tasks with it just a little bit more difficult, required a little bit more effort, on top of the fact that it wasn't super incredibly sharp right out of the box there. But otherwise, I mean, it is constructed basically the same as those 900 series there. We got basically that same kind of almost S handle with the mosaic pen there in the center. Yep. We got a nice full tank construction. There's not a gap, but it's certainly easily felt where the transition from the bolster onto the handle scales meet. Not necessarily on the spine or anything like that. There's no hot spots or anything crazy like that. But yeah, on the transitions on both sides of the G10, it's a little bit noticeable. But yeah, I mean, as far as the whole design of it and everything like that, it is basically, well, yeah, it really depends on how you'd want to measure it. Like from sharpened blade length, we got like a little over 7.5. If you want to count from basically around where you're going to pinch it on the bolster, then it's right around 8. And it does a pretty darn good job. It's fairly tall. You are going to have a little bit of knuckle clearance, I suppose, with some larger hands there, just going back. Yeah, you can kind of see it's a little close. I mean, it's certainly out of the way, but it could be just a slightly bit taller there at the heel, whereas you can actually see it. Yeah, it just doesn't look like it quite extends to the point where I would personally like. But yeah, it's very attractive. And hold on one moment. All right, yeah, I just wanted to make sure, because I didn't have the steel written down on here, which I will do here in a second. It is 10Cr15MoV, which is kind of their VG10 equivalent sort of thing. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't one of their others, because they have used a couple of different types of the CR style stuff. They've done some 15Cr12 and a couple of them and whatnot. So I just wanted to make sure. But yeah, this is the 10Cr15MoV, which is pretty close to VG10, just, generic rather than made by Hitachi. And the fit and finish on this thing is super great. I just really do wish that, it was a little bit thinner there behind the edge. Now, I can thin that out. And, I'm contemplating that a little bit, but I don't honestly know if it's really worth all that much of my time to modify this when I do have the TS999 that's and the TS977 that's very, very close to this. Just doesn't have the Damascus cladding on there. But it does have 14C28M, which is going to get a little bit more performance out of it. But yeah, it's certainly easy enough to be able to bring that shoulder back up. You could probably do a good anywhere. I would probably try somewhere around like 12 or 13 degrees to kind of bring that shoulder back up, and then resharpen it to somewhere where you're a little bit more comfortable with it, 17 to 15 degree edge or something like that. And that'll certainly bring the shoulder up and kind of thin it out a little bit. So, yeah, if you are certainly thinking about that and you do kind of have the same problem as I did, where it does feel just a little bit too thick to be kind of pushing through some densely packed things, cabbage, squash, something like that, then certainly bringing the shoulder up will help out with that a little bit. But yeah, that's about all I really have to say about this thing, other than it's super attractive. I really do like the cladding pattern that they have going on there, where they have kind of raindrop up at the top, and then they do have a few standard horizontal layers going on there. Really nice and attractive. It does have their logo on there, but yeah, I mean, unless you were absolutely staring at it correctly, then it really does blend into the patterning there. So yeah, that's basically all I really have to say about this guy. It's super pretty, super attractive, very traditional as far as the chef's knife is concerned, but just a little bit too thick behind the edge for me personally. Alrighty, well, that's all I really have to say about it, so I suppose I'll leave y'all back to it, and thanks for watching, and hope you have yourselves a wonderful rest of your day, yo.